Hi students, come back to the continuation of the learning as we have learned about Vardhamana Mahavira's life. Vardhamana was born in Kundalagrama in Vaishali, one of the republics, and his father was Siddhartha, the king of Natrika tribe. His mother was Trishala Devi, the princess of the Republic of Lichavi. At the age of 30, Vardhamana set out in search of truth and renounced his family and the house. And he wandered for 12 years in this quest and meditated. He punished his body by fasting at the age of 42 and he achieved enlightenment that is known as Kaivalya.
Kaivalya means nothing but a state of being that is perfect in knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so he attained everything, he attained the wisdom. Okay, so Vardhamana controlled his senses and achieved power over comfort and pain. Okay, so this was been achieved by Vardhamana by sacrificing everything. Due to his achievement, he came to be known as Mahavir and became a Jina. A Jina was one who had overcome his senses and became victorious. Okay, thus his followers came to be known as Jains. So Mahavira spent 30 years, that is the rest of his life, preaching his knowledge to the people around the Ganga and Yamuna rivers. Okay, so then he went, he traveled to the western India preaching his thoughts. So he attained nirvana in his 72nd year in Pavapuri of Bihar. So he attained nirvana. Okay, nirvana is nothing but a peace like heaven. So he attained that in 72nd age. Mahavira taught 5 vows and 3 principles of behavior. Okay, so the later were called as 3 Ratnas. So his 5 vows were as follows. So the non-violence, truth, asteya and apagriha was already taught by, we already seen by the Parasvanatha, right? So the 5th one is the brahmacharya thing. Okay, so next we will see about the 3 ratnas are as follows: samyagan, samyak darshan, samyak charitra. Okay, so these were the 3 ratnas which are the principles of behavior. Okay, so Jainism does not reject the existence of God completely, yet it advocates atheism. So here what they are saying that Jainism, it does not completely reject. Okay, they don't completely reject the existence of God, but what they say, but they advocate, that means advocate atheism. Advocate is nothing but it recommend atheism. Atheism is the disbelief in the existence of God. Okay, atheism is the disbelief in the existence of God. So it denies the role of God in the daily affairs of people. It places God at a lower level than Jina. So in this religion, they keep the God below the Jina. Jina is already we seen that the person who attains who overcomes everything through his senses and become victorious. Over here we have seen, right. So the Jains believe that every animate and the inanimate thing possesses a soul, that is each and everything which has life. Okay, so they also believe that it is only through purification of the soul that one can achieve freedom from rebirth and attain nirvana. So according to the religion Jainism, what they think is that everything has a soul. Okay, how they become purified only through if they achieve freedom. Okay, so at that time only they will become a nirvana is already we seen that the peace. Okay, peace from the life. Purification is possible through medication, fasting, punishment of the body, and thereby destruction of the body. Okay, so how purification is attained, they have given over here through medication, fasting. Punishment of the body is nothing but sacrificing everything, including the luxurious thing in our daily life, and thereby destruction of the body. So this process is called as salekana. The concept of karma is a very important aspect of Jainism. What you all know about karma, right? What you do now will be reflected or you gain in the next future. According to this, a human being can attain salvation only through good and holy acts. So whatever you do good, you will get it good in back. So to attain enlightenment, the soul had to achieve freedom from the bondage of the body. Traditionally, we get to see two important sects among Jains called Swatambaras and Digambaras. Sects means a group of people among the Jains. Okay, so those saints and the followers who wear white cloths are called as Swatambars, whereas those saints and the followers who do not wear any cloth are called as Digambars. So you just find out the difference. Okay, no, main have to keep it in the mind. The two sects of the Jains who were Svetambars and the Digambars. Svetambars are the person who wear the white cloths, and the Digambars are the person who does not wear any cloth. Okay, so after the first Jain council, the preaching of Mahavir were compiled in 12 volumes. So they have been published in 12 volumes. Okay, so these were called 12 Angas by the Jains. So they are in Prakrit language. So 12 books they have. So they were been written in the Prakrit language. Very early, a group of Jains migrated to the south due to the famine in Bihar. Famine is nothing but the extreme scarcity of food, shortage of food. Because of shortage of food, they migrated themselves to the south part and they settled down at Saravana Belagola. So thus even here Jainism spread and many works were written in Kannada, Telugu and Tamil languages. So the famous Kannada poets Pampa, Rana, Jana and Ponna were Jains.
Students, are you following the lesson? The next topic we are going to learn about is Buddhism. In this Buddhism, Siddhartha, who later became known as Gautama Buddha, was born in the 6th century before Common Era, and his father's name is Suddhodana, was the king of the Republic of Sakyas. Renouncing kingly luxury and familial happiness, Siddhartha became a hermit. Disillusioned with the prevailing ways of life, he embarked upon a quest for truth. Attaining enlightenment, he became Buddha. After becoming Buddha, the enlightened one, he first went to Sarnath near Banaras. There, in the Deer Park, he gave first sermon. This has been called Dharmachakra Pravartana. Here, he preached the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths declare that the whole world is full of sorrow and suffering. They also explain the root cause of sorrow. Buddha realized that desire was the root cause of every sorrow. Only by the liberation of excessive desires could a peaceful life be led. So, in every sorrow we are having is the cause of one or the other desire which we are having. We should be liberated from the excessive desire in order to have a peaceful life. And Buddha preached the Eightfold Path for eliminating desires. This is called the Middle Path. And the Eightfold Paths are: the first one, action; second one, speech; third is vision; fourth is livelihood; fifth is effort; sixth is recollection; seventh is resolve; and eighth one is thought. The followers of new religion, wealthy merchants, artisans, and common people were inspired by the new teachings of Buddha. Buddha gave messages in Prakriti, language of the common man, and related them to various aspects of their tradition. And the atmosphere of the new cities changed the ways of life of the people. And the new religions became a ray of hope in the changed circumstances. Buddhism especially took on a new role of transforming the lives of people. Here, people have inspired of the new teachings of Buddha, and it was preached in Prakriti language, which was the language of common people. So he was inspiring people, and the circumstances are changed. They had a hope on Buddha, and Buddhism especially took a new role of transforming the lives of the people. Buddha and his followers visited Kosala, Magadha, and many cities on the Gangetic Plain and spread his messages there. They walked from one city to another and devoted their lives for the others. In his 80th year, Buddha's glorious life of selfless service came to an end at Kushinagar. This has been called Mahaparinirvana. Viharas were constructed in all the areas in which Buddha wandered. People preserved his relics and bones in chaityalayas and stupas, and in memory of his accomplishments started worshipping him. This was how the first temples, idols, and idol worship began. And Buddhism spread not only in India but also in foreign countries. Chinese travelers like Fahian Yitzing and Huyen Tsang have described vividly the glory of Buddhism. Buddhism had spread to Malaya, Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, and Bamiyan too. Rocks have been cut from mountains and shaped into statues of Buddha. Even today, we can see gigantic statues of Buddha in Angkor Wat of Cambodia and Bamiyan of Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the huge statues of Buddha in Bamiyan came under attack and were destroyed in recent times. In 1956, inspired by Buddha's teachings, India's prominent social philosopher and architect, by Buddha's teachings, India's prominent social philosopher and architect of the Constitution, Baba Sahib Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, embraced Buddhism. And after Buddha's death, his followers collected his teachings and tradition in the form of Tripitakas. These are Vinaya, Dhamma, and Abhidhamma Pitakas. Over a period of time, disagreements developed in the teachings and different branches of Buddhism sprang up. Thus, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, and their sutras. And we can see being today many organizations across the globe adopting different ways of realizing Buddha. The next topic is foreign invasion. During this period, there sprang up city-states in Greece. Ancient Persia had grown into a powerful empire. These two areas engaged in continual. The Achaemenians were one group who ruled Persia, and in 6th century BCE, King Darius of this dynasty established a strong empire. His kingdom extended up to the Indian border during his time. In 4th century before Common Era, the Macedonian king Alexander won over the Greek city-states and captured Persia. Thus, even the part of the Persian kingdom which had spread up to the Indian border came under the control of Alexander. And after overpowering Persia, Alexander entered into India through the passes of in Kandahar and Hindu Kush. He advanced till Ravi and Beas rivers and unable to proceed further. He crossed the Indian border through River Jhelum, and on his way back home, he died at Babylonia. The battle between Alexander and Paurava, you have to go through reading by yourself and try to understand it. Thank you. Have a great day.